Hey everybody, bear with me. This is my first tutorial. I have no idea what I'm doing. Thank God my husband is so good with camera and sound and all that stuff. But I just wanted to give you a little how-to for your root touch-up kits. I just want to make sure you have a pair of gloves. You can use your dish gloves. You can use gloves from work if you have any, but just something to protect your hands because you're gonna get kind of stained. Also with the staining, you want to use some kind of like protector. You can do a very heavy moisturizer, like a face moisturizer. Something definitely though that has to go on your face, that can go on your face. You could use like a heavy moisturizer. Aquaphor works really good, or like a chapstick. Also, when you prepare your area that you're going to work in, make sure it's something that can get cleaned really easily. So if you want to throw down an old towel or butcher paper, whatever, the hair dye will stain ceramic, porcelain, pretty much anything. So you want to be careful with that. All right, so let's get started. The best thing to do is to have clips, your color kit, gloves, and something that you can protect yourself with. So I would say an old towel, an old shirt. I'm wearing black today, but not because I need to be protected, but because I need to feel 10 pounds skinnier. So anyways, we will do our clip first. Let's clip our hair or tie our hair up. That's going to help us get around the lining. That is usually the most important, especially when you have those sparkles. So if you want to twist it up anyway, clip it. I also grabbed a couple of bobby pins, so that way I can get these little hairs in the back that always like to fall, because I want to get a really good, I don't know if you could see that, if I did that right. Yeah, so we'll do that. Go ahead and put your gloves on. If you have somebody helping you, that would be awesome. I feel so torn about doing this. It's weird, guys, because it's kind of a no-no in our industry. We don't want our clients doing their own hair, but I feel terrible that we cannot help you. And if you're anything like me, if my hair's done, I feel decent. So if I'm stuck in the house, my hair is done, I feel decent. And for all of you first responders, anybody who's still out there working, thank you so much for working. And I know it will make you feel better if you can have your sparkles covered while you're working. So we're gonna go ahead, in the kits I had set two different containers. One is gonna be your solution, the other is your color. They already mixed out evenly, so you can pour them in another bowl, or if you have room you can pour them into each other. Either works. So go ahead and do that now, and you can use the brush to actually scoop it in to your other container. And so you're going to scoop those two together, and then you're going to grab your bowl that you scooped them together. You're going to mix very well. So just a good little, as long as everything looks even, no little clumps. It shouldn't take too long, but mix well. What I like to do is kind of, in my bowl, just kind of scrape off a little bit. So that way you just have a little bit at the end of the brush. You'll get used to that a little bit at a time, so that way you get used to your application. And then I would go ahead and start where we're usually the most sparkly, is right in here. So you're gonna, after you put your cream around your hairline, all around your ears, you're gonna take that brush, you're gonna kind of clean off the edge a little bit. So we have just a little bit on the edge like that. The cleaner that the bottom of the brush is, the better, because you're not gonna get it everywhere. See that? So I'm gonna start with our most gray areas, which is usually right in here. And you want to see the product. kind of being placed. You see that? Kind of setting and kind of smushing slightly. The more you smush, the farther up it's gonna go, and so you're gonna kind of start double overlapping. So you don't want to do that, because then those areas will get super dark, unless you have old grays that are coming through. If you have a really stubborn, you know, the grays that don't want to, the sparkles, I'm sorry, sparkles that don't want to get covered, or that kind of end up coming back through after 4 to 8 weeks. So we're gonna do that right in here. See that? You're going to continue all around the hairline. And again, if you have somebody that can help you with the back, that would be most desirable. A spouse, somebody old enough that is quarantined with you, that'll be best. So the back is going to be the hardest if we're doing it ourselves. You're going to scoop a little bit the same way. And then I'm gonna use my hand actually to guide me. I'm gonna feel right in here, kind of give myself like 1 finger's length right in here. And then I'm gonna grab my brush, and then I'm gonna use my other finger to kind of stop me. And mind you, this is just so we can get by till the quarantine is over. Again, right here. I'm gonna stop right there. And you will get some on your skin, that's normal. You're gonna do the same thing back here. If you have a mirror, that'll help at different angles. Just kind of use your finger to kind of stop yourself like a 1/4 inch of the way, wherever your roots are, however long your roots are. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And don't forget, I think the hardest part is gonna be behind our ears. Again, you're gonna wipe just a little bit on the tip of the brush. You might wanna fold our ear over if you can. And then just kind of make sure you got all of that. Try your best to keep this hand cleaned, so that way, or have something you can wipe it off on. That way when we, move and fold, we can make sure we're not getting any of the other old hair. So if you're doing the mini kits, you're pretty much gonna be focusing on this hairline where everybody sees. And then you're gonna go into, go ahead and pull your hair down, take that clip out, find your normal part. And if it's in between a certain section, sometimes I kind of change it up between center, here, and over a little bit. So what I would do is kind of go in between all of that, unless you have a definite part. If you have a definite part, go straight to your definite part. See that? Amber, you're so serious when you do videos. And then we're gonna push that down. Again, take a little bit of your color, wipe some off so your tip is pretty saturated and the ends are as clean as they can be. Mine are not, but if you can, it's better. So I'm gonna pretend like I have like about a 1/4 inch regrowth. And then I'm gonna just kind of tap the color on top, slightly push the color in. The further back you can go, the better, because because that'll get some of that halo that some of us, our part goes back really far and it separates, it opens when we have our hair done, so that way, our hair down. If you have some sparkles back there, this will help. You're gonna go and press it right in there. You're gonna get about a 1/4 inch section. And you're gonna smooth it down. And just give yourself a lot of grace in this time that we're doing our own everything. I'm starting to do my own massages, just rolling out my body on a roller. It's not working out very well, but it's better than nothing. So, go ahead. And it's okay if your part's not super even, because we're gonna get all of that covered and colored. And if you're wondering, this is not my first rodeo. I have colored my hair before. I actually had my husband help me one time when I was pregnant. That was hilarious. Don't tell him, but I might never ask him to do it again. It took forever. And it was like he was painting a house. Up and down, up and down. I was trying to guide him, but he said if he was gonna do it, he was gonna do it his way. Yeah, don't trust the professional, you know? And get right in there. Slightly. And so we're just gonna take a couple sections on either part of your part. So I went about two sections this way. And then I'm gonna go on the opposite way and do about 2 sections the other way. So we'll go back to my middle part that I started from. See that? So I'm gonna go just lay and just make sure that you're pretty saturated, especially if you have sparkles. You want to make sure it's nicely saturated, and always go back to your areas that are the most sparkly. And then we'll do 1 or 2 more sections this way. It's a lot easier looking in the mirror than in this. But I really wanted to show you guys what it looks like. I'm such a visual person. I can put this on mute probably and totally learn more than what I'm saying. So if I'm not super descriptive, I'm sorry. If you have any questions, please call or text or DM. So 1 more section. And you really want to try to stay as closely on point to your regrowth, because the color does expand a little bit while it's developing. Just smush it in there a little bit. Not too much smush, just slightly. But yes, heavily saturate. So yes. So if you are my mini retouch kit people, this would be your end of your procedure. You just want to go back, definitely go back to your most used part. Mine would be right in here. Try not to spread too much of the color down as best as you can. And always, if you feel like you're getting any color on these ends, have something to wipe it down, and that'll help you from stretching the color out to unwanted areas. So I'm gonna go back to, this is my main part. I'm gonna go back and really, really saturate that, because that's what the world sees. But not me right now. Nobody's gonna see this, but you guys. Because I am, well, my kids and my husband will see it. And then, again, a lot of times we are extra sparkly right in here. So you want to get some extra in there. And so, go back and check and see if you missed anything. And my mini kits, this will be the end of your application process. You're gonna leave on for about 45 minutes if you have gray, 30 if you do not. If you feel like you want to add a little oomph and you are one solid color, natural, or you know, we do one solid color. When you are in your rinsing process, just spritz a little bit of water and then kind of pull the color through a little bit. But if you have highlights, no. Only if you're one solid color, and this will kind of pull through and kind of like freshen up those ends just a little bit. Yeah, and then you will shampoo and condition as normal. I recommend 2 shampoos, especially if you have really thick hair, just to make sure you get all that color out. If you are looking at this before you start, it would probably be good to not wash your hair before you do it. Any extra stimulating of the scalp will kind of cause you to be a little more sensitive, so it's better if you don't. All my full root people, we are going to continue. I'm going to continue to head this way. And then you're going to do this all the way through. Again, clean lines are good, but we are in quarantine mode. Just trying to get by. And you would have gloves on 2 hands. I am not using color. I am using conditioner because I'm not about to highlight these roots with color. Inez would kill me and I would be not happy. Thanks Inez for doing my hair the Thursday before we went on lockdown. I feel pretty. Well, maybe just today because I put makeup on for you guys. And then continue with 1/4 inch sections all the way through the hair. Okay, so you are going to continue all the way down the head, 1/4 inch sections. Come back this way, go back to one of your last application spots. So that would be mine. Kind of mush it in there a little bit. I'm gonna go to the next section and continue down, making sure I got everything. So as we make our way down the left part of the hair, we are going to continue with our 1/4 inch sections all the way down. Let's see. So if you're brave, you can intent the whole back of the hair with a couple of mirrors. That'll help you. If it were me personally, what I would do is kind of find out how far back my roots went back when I touched up. So I'm gonna grab this section. It has a little bit of color on there, but that's good. We wanna make sure it's okay to go over the old sections. So again, over that section, gonna go back. Same thing, 1/4 inches all the way through. And it's good to kind of see the color coming through on this side, because then you know that it's completely saturated. And again, just go back as far as you can see, unless you want to attempt to put a couple of mirrors, or you have those really cool bathroom mirrors that kind of go all the way around. That'll help kind of open one up so you can see the back what you're doing. Or ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Preferably from an adult. I think I have to put a disclaimer. I'm in no way saying that anybody should do this on their own unless you are professional. And we all kind of know where our natural, where our hair naturally splits, or what we see most. If you have a cowlick, try to go as far back and over those cowlicks as you can. The areas that you know that show, or where we all know where our grays kind of pop out first, and where it kind of bothers us the most. Just go back over those areas. And then again, if you are done, you are going to process for 30 minutes if you have no gray, 45 minutes with gray, 45 to an hour. If you're extra stubborn, go ahead and add an extra like 10-15. And then if you are a full solid color, while you're in the shower, if you feel like the ends need a little bit of like life, you're gonna kind of put a little bit of water, and then you're gonna smush, preferably with your gloves still. Actually, yes, with your gloves still. You're gonna smush it all in together, almost like you're shampooing the color into the ends, and that's gonna kind of give you some life again on those ends. Pro tip. And then shampoo really good. Shampoo twice. Leave your conditioner in. Definitely color safe shampoo, color safe conditioner, and if you can, don't wash for about 2 days, 48 hours, and that'll help just the color last its best. You can rinse out those containers, toss them, you can use them for storage, save this, we don't know how long we're gonna be here. Clean it out really good, rinse it really good, and then dry it and put it in storage somewhere. Anywho, I hope that helps you guys. I miss you dearly. I can't wait to see you in my chair. If you have any questions, call me, text me, DM me, and I hope to see you really soon. I love you guys. Bye.